This is me trying to explain other people on the other side of the earth how to put and where to put the Soundpost on a violin. That was an interesting experience. Stay tuned and I explain you how I got there. Hello, back again. This is Edgar from Cremona, Italy. Finally back from China. I've just returned from this China Experience 2024 Shanghai Music Fair. So this time we left very early in the morning from Cremona at 5 o'clock. We went to Milan and then we had our flight at 9 o'clock in the morning all the way to Vienna, and in Vienna we changed and we took another airplane to Shanghai.
Well, we're now here traveling in a nice Austrian airline, Austrian very nice airlines. But last year we were surprised how narrow all the seat space was and everything. So we finally took a premium economy. I have to say that this is definitely the solution. But I didn't expect that it's so freezing cold. So Min is working really hard to warm up. I had a gin tonic. My neighbors are already frozen. He was moving. Oh, sorry. If you concentrate, you can see how we're flying. It's a long flight. I do all this just for you. I hope you appreciate it. Looks also peaceful and nice, but I'm not alone. Wow.
Then we arrived in the very early 6:30 in the morning in Shanghai, and then your immigration, then the suitcase lottery. It's always a lottery if it all arrives or not, but we were almost lucky. Everything arrived, even the cello which we had checked in. Then we had a limousine van, taxi to airport already booked. The driver was waiting for us with the name already in front. It was all perfect. Years ago we had to find a taxi and all these kind of crap. Nowadays you cannot even pay them anymore cash. It's all done in advance and with Alipay and WeChat Pay, and they don't even take a credit card anymore. So you just all organized. I didn't put out a single coin in China anymore. Everything organized, everything by ourselves, by the way. And then we arrived to our hotel, which is just next to the fairground. So from Shanghai, this time, I didn't see anything. I just saw the fairground.
So now we are having here a short overview on the Italian section. And this is here. And there are all the booths. It's a big mess here. It's hard to imagine that here could be a fair. And I can see already here on the behind, there is my booth. It's very difficult to see. It seems like this year that every booth is more important than the Italian trade agency. But then you have also the names of everybody, but it's a little bit more difficult to see. I hope that even Chinese will understand that we are not from the Italian trade agency company, but that we are actually, that the other logo is the company. This here is our booth. It's still pretty messy. Min has her eyes and mouth very open. Me too. It's really messy here. You cannot imagine. There's also Erligura. He worked with me for a few years. So if I would have known that the Italian trade agency is so big, I probably would have written my name bigger. And here on the back side you can see the space where I'm going to make on Saturday the Soundpost setting workshop. Will be very nice, crowded. Looking forward already to it. It's always fun. It will be nice to make this.
Actually, you don't have to go to the fair before it starts, but it's always good to know how it will look like. And actually, you can see that everything is empty. you hardly can understand that it's your booth, and you need a lot of imagination how it will be. And so we ordered some pictures from our workshop, which had to be still fixed on it, and all these things. We didn't actually see them. So here now we were at the booth E4, and now we're walking to our hotel. And while we are walking here, the fairground in front looks a little bit like on the moon. They still have to work really tough here to get all these hills into these empty spots here. I don't know why they're digging all the time here. It's always a little bit like this. Yeah, here they're already on the moon here, and they're walking here. And our hotel is here, the Kerry Hotel. This is just next to the fairground, very good. Sun is going down, and I'm already a certain hungry here.
It's like a performance. You're so tourist now. I'm sorry.
I was.
Okay.
And the next day in the morning, then finally you see your booths finished, how you haven't seen it the day before. So then it's all nice, colorful and everything. And the fair starts right away in the morning. So we woke up very early, had a big breakfast. That's the only meal actually until the late at night. And then you just go there. And from the morning that you go to the booth, there's one person after another, ta 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 ta, and there's Catherine, our Chinese girl, which translated for us, and then Min and me, and there was so much going on. You have no idea. That was just, I took a few videos around lunchtime that somebody was playing, but there were almost no time to make videos. People really liked and enjoyed our instruments, and these strut pads, which I now have also on my web page, works pretty good. I have it on almost all of my instruments, and people appreciated this straightforward E-string sound, because in China they have a different sound perception as we have, and they really focus on the higher frequencies, and this strut pad works very well. Every fair is always a little bit different. This time, this fair, usually the first day is quite calm. A few people are checking out, especially in China. They have like retired professors who go from booth to booth, check out the instruments, then they probably send it to other professors, or I don't know how it works. That was how I was used to how it was working. And then next day, people are coming straight forward to your booth and say, can I try the Guarneri of Master Russ, for instance? This time, all this was different. It was that from the very first moment, there were a lot of customers, especially international customers from Australia, Taiwan, Korea, United States. Just thinking about the people I made my business to. A lot of Australians actually there. Third day, we have to go in the sun. We expected to have fresh weather, and now it's promising to be a very, very hot day today. 8:30 in the morning, and we're crossing here this big area in front of the halls. We're reaching E4, let's hope in a pretty good condition. And the fair is actually always different than you expect. First day was crowded. It was just like putting in a step on the booth and the day was over. Hundreds of people, thousands maybe. Second day in the morning, very quiet. And from 12:30 on, seemed like they have opened the gates for the public.
And then it was just 4 or 5 people playing contemporary at the booth. Didn't have time to see anything else than my own booth at the fair.
The third day, Saturday afternoon, then I had actually my violin making workshop. There they have just a booth and there are some demonstrations going on. I arrived a little bit late because I had too many customers at my booth, so I had to make me room to go there. Took a violin which I thought could be interesting, took off all the strings and everything, took my tools, went there, and then I made my Soundpost position demonstration, pulling up the strings and doing all this for all the people. And you don't have to announce anything. They just come in like flies and they build up the audience.
The thickness in this area of the top. Okay, now it's difficult to measure that, but at least you have an idea, and it should be around 3 millimeter, more or less. Sometimes 2.5.
It depends
on the thickness of the top. Okay, so I built my instrument, so I know exactly the measurement. So when I built my instrument, I trace already this line, and I also trace this line. So then I have already a spot where to bring my Soundpost. Okay? But that doesn't mean that this is now the best solution. Then you pull off the strings and then we will hear if it's good or not. And then if we want to change it, then we can change it. And that's what the question is. If you go with this one out, let's say we go now here, it will be very difficult responding. Yeah? Here it's idle. Idle sound position. Here, difficult responding.
You see how they are super interested and hungry for information. Interesting because in China, they don't have such a clear concept where to put the Soundpost. In some of my videos about Soundpost setting, I explain that you have the idle position, which I always explain where it should be. And then if you go away, the effect of what the Soundpost is doing or causing to your sound is a little bit reducing, and then whoop, it turns back again a little bit more stronger. So if you have like 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters away, it still works the same concept but less strong. And usually in China they're like 2-3 steps behind with this, and I don't understand why. So when I explain them where it should be, they're all, really like this, huh?
Actually, I thought that during the music fair I will have more time to make a video, but there was not too much time. I'm really sorry here. People pack already away and are slowly going. We're still serving here and having customers at our booth. And but there was actually no time to transmit what's going on here. So I just wanted to show you a little bit how things are proceeding here. We're all happy here. It's actually, it should be over now. It's 3 o'clock, I think 3:30 is over. That looks like this here. This is, for instance, a company which was next to our booth. And they say they are from Germany, but I think they're completely Chinese. But this is, everybody makes his own business. Here they have other ones. Yeah, Cedar music and all this. The Italians here are already gone. And most of the other ones are already packing and are moving away. And we're still serving customers who are coming and trying to make a good purchase.
Conclusion to this fair in Shanghai. I think it was a fun fair. A lot of business was going on. Years ago, you were only measuring your success of how much you sold right away to Chinese customers. Nowadays, you go there and you bring instruments, and how you brought them, you bring them back. Years ago, I would have said that the fair was a disaster. No, it was not at all. We made a lot of good business. We had with one cello, which we had exposed there. We brought it back and we will ship it to the customer who has chosen it. And we have received lots of orders only from the cello. And then same thing with violins. I had like one Scala Perfetta and we sold lots of Scala Perfetta. Even that was interesting, while in the beginning I even was considering not to bring a Scala Perfetta violin. And it was great success. And even that one we brought back and we will ship them now the quantities of what the customers wanted. Also, other instruments, it was a little bit like this. Out of one instrument, we got a lot of orders out of this fair. For my Chinese friends, since it's always so nice to connect in China, you take the phone, hold on, let's become friends on WeChat. And you can connect here with this one here. And so we become friends, also in case you're not yet a friend. And last thing, I forget, thank you, Jim, for your generous gift for a nice dinner for me and my wife. I really appreciate it very much. Thank you. If you didn't give me anything, you're always free to give me a donation. Ciao, ciao.
It's cold in this flight here. Austrian Airlines, it's like on the ski area. We are here under the snow. It's so cold. It comes from here somewhere, but we cannot close it.